Hello, Hockey World. It is April 10th, 2025. I'm Eklund. You're watching the HockeyBuzzCast on HockeyBuzz.com. This is the podcast that brings you the comings and goings in the hockey world. And today we are all about the Frozen Four. And a big day. And we are lucky to have a really great guest today to help talk to us about that. And welcome, Luke Ravitz.
Thank you for having me. I'm super excited to join and be part of your show today. It's a big day in the hockey world.
It is. Now, are you at Penn State correctly right now?
Yeah, I'm currently a sophomore studying telecommunications. And I played hockey my whole life. So, I'm really excited for today. Big day for our school and the hockey culture around here. So we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, it's really it doesn't get any better if you're a college hockey fan than today. Like this is exactly. You get two games back to back, 5 o'clock. This first one, and this is going to be something. And we're going to talk about the different teams and kind of get you guys who aren't familiar with college hockey a little bit more familiar with it, because I know we're basically an NHL site, but thanks to Luke, because cool thing about Luke, this is what I really liked about the next second I met him, is this guy has like an incredible knowledge of college hockey, but also has played with a lot of these guys and has adjacent to them in some way, shape, or form. And he just knows the game, which is really interesting, because a lot of us in the NHL, I follow 32 teams, like I always say, and that's enough for my brain, right? But this is like really something that I love, and this is going to be fantastic. So let's look at the teams for a second, and we go through this, and let's start with Penn State, because we are right there. Is there an NHL team that you would compare Penn State to? Like, that's something I know it's hard to do these comparisons, but just out of your thought.
I mean, I think it's just only perfect to compare them to the St. Louis Blues. In 2019, they were the worst team in the NHL in January and fought their way back and made the playoffs, fought in the playoffs, and won the Cup in Boston. And I just feel like this Penn State team just mimics them exactly how they played. Penn State started the year off, I think, 0-8 in Big Ten games. And then once the calendar flipped, they just changed their game completely. They finished 11-4-4 in the team's last 19 games, and 3 out of the 4 of those games were in extra play, and they won 3 out of 4 of those. So there's dogs. Like there's no other way to describe them.
It's a real Cinderella type story, and it's a very cool story, because they're going against a powerhouse today. Like this, like Boston U goes back to Miracle on Ice days and beyond. Of his college hockey powerhouse. And that's what's kind of fun, from a perspective, if you're watching the game today, is this is like Penn State has had hockey for, I think, 15 years, maybe, or 14 years.
14 years, yeah.
14 years, and the same coach the entire time, right?
Yeah, Coach Gadowski. He actually, his first year here at Penn State, he was the ACHA club coach. And the first year they moved to Division I, all the guys just moved up with him. And I think Gadowski said, like, that was one of his most fun years, just playing with those guys. It's a really cool story. To
take it from nothing. It's like kind of like the Vegas Golden Knights type thing. They go from absolutely nothing and then be this successful this quickly in a league in college hockey that is very much has entrenched its like powerhouses. Is pretty incredible. Like that's something that they're there. This is their first Frozen Four, and that's amazing that they're even here now. I mean, 14 years in, the teams they beat, like UConn has been another.
They've been great this year,
yeah. They've been a powerhouse going back too. I mean, not quite like Boston, but they definitely have their own things. And as we have one of our chat guys in the chat room saying that Flames prospect is a Flames prospect is your goalie there in Pennsylvania.
Sigorev, yeah, I was at the game out in Allentown for the regional, and that was one of the best goalie performances I've seen live in a while. Like he really carried the team on his back towards the end of the game. I thought we were definitely going to lose that, and that one save where he was just lying down the puck. I mean, he really stood on his head for the team and helped them win the game in overtime.
Yeah, like what is the thing about Russian goalies right now? Like
it's great, and Boston University's goalie is Russian too. So I mean, they've both been stellar this year. It's going to be a really hard fought match, and I don't know. These Russian goalies are crazy. I don't know what to say.
Yeah, they're definitely. There was a while that Finland was creating all the goalies in the league. It used to be Canada. Canada's had a little tough time with goalies.
The last 10 years hasn't been too nice.
And the U.S. actually has some really star goalies, but the pure number of Russian goalies, it's just amazing. Like they have in New York with the Rangers and the Islanders, you've got these two incredible Russian goalies playing each other, and the great rivalry of that team is so much fun.
Yeah.
So this is obviously a team that's been like very, like we said, they've been. No one thought. I mean, when they're 0-8, what are you thinking? Like, when they're.
I was just in my head. I was like, all right, here's another season where really much is going to happen, and then as I said before, once to 2025, the team just completely turned around. I mean, you had everyone buying in. You have a Hobie Baker top 10 finalist, Aiden Fank. He's a Predators prospect.
Right.
In my opinion, I think you can make an argument for the three that were selected for sure, but I think what he did and how he carried the team, like he played lights out the whole year. Besides the last 2 games out of town, he's a little quiet, but I think that just shows how good this team can be without their best player playing at his best. So I'm happy that it happened before the Frozen Four, because I mean now we're prepared for anything, and especially with the talent that he has.
And he's going to have to come up big. He's going to have to come up big in these games. There's no question about it.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah, your best players have to be your best players, as they always say, right? So, but the fact that the rest of the team picked up for him. I mean, you've been in locker rooms, like a lot of what's interesting about a lot of people who watch the show or read hockey, they've never really been in a hockey locker room, like, and how a team grows together and how things go, and it's such an amazing.
It's the all locker room.
It's an amazing thing. Like,
if the vibe in the locker room is good, it makes everything easier. Everyone plays better communication on the ice, off the ice. It just makes coming to the rink a lot better. And from playing hockey my whole life, I can guarantee you that's what it is. Like when you get along with everyone on your team, it just makes everything so much better. And I think that's what we have with this Penn State team. Everyone's
because what you get the first liners aren't. Right, your first liners aren't just first liners; they're like talking to the fourth liners. They don't care. Yeah. Like, you have this big divide. Exactly. That's amazing. And I think that that what's going to be really interesting to show here is that this is the sport of, like I've always said, if there are miracles, there's a miracle on ice for a reason. Like this is a sport where miracles can happen. Like any team can beat anything. And it's a strange thing in the world because it's just emotion, right? Like it's emotion and confidence. I think are the two biggest things to me: confidence and emotion. And
I 100% agree. And I just think if Penn State wants to compete with this powerhouse team, they need to come out fast and early. Like if you want these top teams to respect you, you have to compete hard in the beginning, because then that's just going to set the tone for the rest of the game. You know what's coming.
Oh, absolutely. Now they're playing Boston, and Boston University. This is not their first time to the Frozen Four.
25th.
20. I did not know 25. Third straight year. So that's amazing. And I mean, obviously, guys can skate, up there on the ponds and in Massachusetts all the time, and they can play a lot. They can get a lot more ice time than you guys will get down here in Pennsylvania necessarily. Yeah. But still, the 25th Frozen Four. Now they have, of course, a prospect that we have a lot of Montreal Canadiens fans out there. So you'll be familiar with both of these guys, which is like kind of crazy, right? They've got 2 Hudsons.
Yeah, so Lane and Quinn Hudson are just absolutely studs. I mean, going in this year, everyone knew that Cole was just going to be a dominant force like his brother Lane. Yeah. Quinn was kind of flying under the radar a little bit, but I mean, he really outperformed what people thought. And I think he led, he was top 15 in points, assists, and goals per game, which is really crazy. And Cole he skates so smooth. Yeah. I mean, his head fakes, his playmaking ability. I mean, you can't really replicate that. And like, that's why he's so special. And like, I've played him growing up, and like, you try to hit him and you can't hit him. His head fakes are. I've noticed
like watching Lane do it. Like, it just like kind of like, it's like. It's something I've noticed, and you're as a hockey player will understand this a lot more than I will, because I mean I'm a goalie, so I don't really know a lot of the skating tricks. But like the concept of, and I saw it with the Meetup too, who's coming over to Montreal. Mm-hmm. These moves that they make with only their heel part of their skates on the ice.
Yeah. It just creates so much more space for them, and I believe this is true, but apparently when the Hudson brothers are younger, dad used to make them skate with their laces untied for their edge work. And I mean, I guess it worked because all three brothers have tremendous skating. And
that is something, like, from a person who like tied their skates and then taped my ankle 30 times.
Yeah, it's insane.
I'm impressed by that.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, Cole Hudson's off to the Capitals pretty after maybe
he'll be there right away.
It could be today, could be a couple days from now, but he's going to be there. Quinn is not drafted yet, right?
Yeah, he is not drafted yet, no. But I'm sure I believe he's a junior.
Okay.
So I'm sure teams will definitely be calling him soon, and he'll definitely be in a spot soon. And also, another player that I really, really like and is intriguing to me is Islanders prospect Cole Yzerman.
Oh yeah.
He is just a pure goal scorer. I mean, he broke Cole Caulfield's NCDP record for most goals in the program, and I think he's second in points in the program behind Jack Hughes. So I mean, that's pretty good company.
That's very good company. If you're first in Boston University for anything, like that's like for all the players they've had over the years.
Yeah, it's their NHL alumni.
It's like including their coach, right? Like, so Jay Pandolfo.
Yeah, since he's been with the team, they've just been on fire. He's led the team to their third straight Frozen Four in his 3 years. He's been head coach there, and he was back-to-back finalist for National Coach of the Year, which is pretty something special.
Oh my God.
And I can just tell, like, if the team just buys in when they respect the coach, that like. It's just, if you have a good coach, that's what's going to help the vibe in the locker room too. Like, if you have a coach that no one likes, it's just going to make everyone miserable coming to the rink every day. It's not fun.
Also, there's something to be said. And like, I remember when Ken Hitchcock got fired from Philly, I talked to him for a bit, and he was like, that was when Richards and Carter were in Philly and stuff like that, before they brought in Laviolette. And Hitchcock was like, I just can't get through to some of these guys. Like, and Hitchcock was a great coach. But I talked to him on the phone. He was really upset because there's a new generation of players coming in, and it does not working, you know. And the reality is, playing for an ex-player is a different thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like Pandolfo is an NHL player.
Yeah, he went to BU, went to the NHL.
Yeah,
so he knows how to get a feel of the team, and and
he was on some of the best teams like ever in New Jersey, who were like not necessarily great, but they were a great team.
Exactly.
And they won cups and everything like that. So that's got to be a great locker room. And he's also come out of the Lou Lamoriello world, which is always scary.
Yes.
So I call him the Godfather of the hockey. He's like, when you talk to him, you feel like you're talking to the Godfather. It's like scary. He's a scary person. He's the one GM in the world. Like, all the others are just old guys. But you talk to Lou Lamoriello.
No beards or facial hair.
Oh yeah, no, he's like, you know, like the Yankees, right? So he's basically, and he's just dead serious. Like,
all business.
I knew how serious he was one time when Scott Niedermayer retires, you know, like he went and played for Anaheim for a bit, but then they retired. He retires, but so when he went to Anaheim that season, the Devils were in for the first preseason game, and first time we were going to see Scott Niedermayer.
Yeah,
someone skates on the ice with Scott Niedermayer's number. Like, can you imagine that? Like, this is like a guy who's like, this is Lou Lamoriello. This is like, doesn't matter. That number on the back doesn't mean anything. He's not here anymore. Scott's not here anymore. So that's that. You know, and I was like shocked. I'm like, how could they give away Scott Niedermayer's number to a preseason, like a guy who's probably not going to play?
Yeah.
Who would even have the guts to take it? You know, like that's the other thing I thought about.
Yeah, I wouldn't. That's pretty crazy.
I bet you anything he made someone take it just to make a principle of it.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
So for Penn State to win this game, what has to happen? Like, one of the things I talk about a lot on here is, and I really do believe in this, is that hockey is a lot about the idea of creating mistakes. If you can either attack or you can sit back and wait and work off of other people's mistakes, right?
Yeah.
It would feel like the team is kind of like waiting for the mistakes to happen, while Boston's going to be more attacking, probably.
Yeah, it just depends what their game plan is going to this. They can either just go out full force and make and just like cause turnovers in the defensive zone for them, or they can just like wait back and wait for BU to make some mistakes. What I think they should do is just go full force and
just go for it.
And just because I don't know if BU respects them like that right now. Like,
that's interesting. You probably don't.
That's what you have to do. Just come out early, get some shots on the goalie, shoot low, get some rebounds. I mean, this is playoff hockey. No goal. It has to be. I mean, the goal is a goal.
The first goal is always huge, you know. Now they've never played each other. Is that true?
They may have played each other
once
or twice, but like a few years ago.
So these particular players have never played against each other.
Yeah,
probably.
yeah. But
That's crazy.
Yeah, they haven't this year, or the last like 5-10
Yeah.
years.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be an interesting game to watch for sure. We'll see.
Sure.
We'll see how this star-studded BU team and Cinderella story Penn State team can go at each other.
I love it. I absolutely love it. I think it's gonna be amazing. So let's go to the other game now. Denver Pioneers. A lot of people in the NHL now are waiting for this game to end so that Dave Carl can be the next coach of their team in the NHL, because it seems like he's headed there. I mean, it's going to be up to him. If he wants to, he can.
He can go probably whatever team he wants to. Really, he has the accolades to do it. I mean, he's going for his third national championship. His second national championship and second World Juniorship in 2 years. I mean, that's insane. Like,
and 3rd and 4, like you said, like this will be third and 4 years.
Yeah,
they get one and then they lost.
It was 2022, right? They won.
Okay, right. Yeah. So there you go.
Yeah, and then last year as well. So
and obviously, winning the World Juniors for the U.S. that was another thing that just like brought him onto the map even more for the NHL, because the whole NHL is watching that tournament, because that's like the holidays for the NHL.
Exactly.
They love that.
Best time of the year.
Yeah, that's amazing, right? And of course, he had what was interesting. I noticed they were playing Boston College last week to get there, right?
Yes.
And they put up on the screen at one point the amount of players that were on that U.S. junior team from Denver and the amount of players who were on that U.S. junior team from Boston College. There was one Denver Pioneer player on that team.
Zeke Boyum.
Yep. And there were 8 guys from Boston College. So Dave Carl picked his team like he was playing against 8 guys that he picked to go to the World Juniors.
Yeah, exactly. It's actually so funny. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
I mean, that game, I forget how it was. I believe Denver was getting outshot, I believe.
Yeah, well, what happened is Boston College came out way too aggressive. Like they were over aggressive to the point where they were getting themselves caught out of position a lot. But they were trying to hit everything that moved. Yeah. And it was fascinating because they asked the guy, they asked them in the they had one of those on bench things, which I know coaches love. So he's talking to the coach on the bench as the game's going on, and he's saying, what's the key here? And he said, well, they're being too over aggressive. We just have to make straight passes and just let them hurt themselves, which is what so after the first period, which Boston College dominated, even though Denver had a 1-0 lead after it.
They dominated. They outshot Denver. I forget how much they outshot.
It was crazy. It was a crazy, but after that, from that point, like another great thing, Dave Carl made like an adjustment somehow that just Denver dominated the rest of the game. Boston College,
I think they went up 2-0. Boyum scored one, like they disallowed it. And then what's his name on BC? The one that scored the golden goal for US.
I can't remember his name either. It starts with an S, doesn't it?
Michael Tiga?
Yeah. Stiga, I think it is.
Teddy Stiga.
There it is. Yeah.
He had a breakaway, I remember, probably with like 5 minutes left in the period, got stops, and then had another one, and it was a really smooth, just backhand 5-hole. So it was 2-1 going into the third period. And everyone thought like BC ties it, who knows? And just Denver just really, really did calm and composed and made it hard for for BC to get back in the game.
Oh, absolutely. And that was something like, and they just rolled them at that point. And it was interesting because no one rolls BC. It's like, that was something I never really expected. Like BC looked lost and they were running around. And that's just good coaching and good positioning. I mean, at the end of the day, they just outplayed. They were outcoached big time. So I thought that was really impressive. Now they're going up against kind of another little bit of a Cinderella story, right, in Western Michigan.
Yep, it's their team's first Frozen Four as well. Okay. So, and they were unbelievable this year. They 32-7-1 record, finished number 3 in the nation. And they have some really good players that a lot of people may not know about, but they're a very, very good team and a very well coached team as well.
Yeah, so they have Alex Bump, who we have a lot of Flyers fans on this podcast.
Yep. He's a stud. He's a stud.
Yeah, and it's interesting. He wasn't like a big time draft pick, right? Like he was.
No, we got him in the later rounds, but he former Mr. Minnesota hockey finalist, played a few years in the USHL after that, and then last season he came to Western Michigan and played very well. And then this year he took up a leadership position as assistant captain, as only a sophomore. and just played lights out. He was tied for 5th in points. Goals, and like he's the reason why Western Michigan is scoring a lot. He's playing unbelievable. He scored the double OT winner against Denver in the NCHC finals. So he's a stud for sure. And I'm excited that the Flyers are getting him soon, hopefully.
They're trying to bring in everybody they can to get like a taste of something this year. So who knows, if he goes in this game, if they get him up for a game or two. But yeah, they're a team that they don't have to worry about making the playoffs. They're just trying to get people some experience.
Exactly. 100%.
So they have been really impressive. Let's talk about along those lines. Let's talk about some of the NHL players who are future NHL players for people out there. So starting with Denver, we talked about Devine and Bouillon, right?
Yeah. Devine he was probably overall the best playmaking ability this year.
Right.
He had the most points in the country. I believe he was top 3 in assists as well. Him and Boyum have played so well, and the Panthers are so lucky to. I think he was also drafted in late rounds as well. I think it was like 6 or I think it was the 7th round. He was.
That's like a typical Bill Zito Panthers type move because he was when he was an agent, he was like not one of the big agencies. So he had to go and find the guys who weren't like everybody wasn't looking at, because those guys were going to go to like the major agencies or whatever. And he was incredible at finding these guys out of nowhere. For the Panthers to get a guy like that, like they need any more talent. It's just ridiculous. Like that.
He is everything you want in a player. He's extremely fast and quick.
Yeah.
He brings the physical side to his game as well. And he can put up points left and right. He probably, I forget, he was definitely over a point per game this year.
Yeah.
But I will say though is Western Michigan, they played Denver 3 times this year.
Okay.
And Devine only had 2 points, and they were all pretty high scoring games as well. So I think if Denver wants to shut down Western Michigan, they're going to need their top forward to produce some points for the team.
Oh, for sure.
And another guy that I really do like is Sharks prospect Eric Polkamp.
Okay.
He's a very, very good player. He was on the U.S. World Junior team last year, and he's just always there to have shots. He scored against last game against BC. He almost scored 2. He's everywhere on the ice. So if I were a Sharks prospect, I'd be very excited.
Yeah. They're a fun team, and they've got a lot of talent. The Sharks do, and the Sharks are a ton of draft picks coming. So they are going to be very good, very fast.
And what we said before with like the whole locker room vibe, I feel like this whole year the Sharks have been like a very close, even though they're the worst team in the league. They all have a very big bond. You see with Macklin Celebrini and Will Smith and Tyler Toffoli. It's really cool to see. Even though they're losing, they're still having fun out there, and Polkamp will definitely be a big addition to their team too. So maybe in the next 3-4 years, the Sharks will be contenders again.
They will be. It's actually it's such a nice organization in general. Like they have a really good staff set up. They treat their players really well. They keep in touch with their former players, and they really have like a good thing going. So they're going to, and like you said, Celebrini he is obviously a superstar, but he's not a superstar attitude type guy.
Exactly. It's really cool to see one of those kind of stars come up in the league like that. He's always been in the sports world. I think his dad was the conditioning coach, I believe. For the Golden State Warriors. So
that's right. Correct. Yeah.
He's been around athletes his whole life. So he knows what the deal is, and I'm happy to see that he's producing well, and he's gonna have a great NHL career.
I think he is the closest thing we've seen since Crosby.
Yeah,
as far as stylistically goes and the way they play.
Yeah, he skates, play makes. He can do everything.
Another great American player, which is also cool. When you think about all these guys, like on the American Olympic team, like 4 years from now, a lot of these guys will be there. Like, there's no question in my mind that some of them are already ready for it. Like, Hudson in LA, I thought. Hudson in Montreal, like Lane Hudson should have been on that team.
The Four Nations team.
Yeah, and the Four Nations. I mean, and if they had it at the end of the season, he would be on that team.
Yeah,
no question about
it. The U.S. definitely left some very, very good guys off the roster, like Tage Thompson, Jason Robinson, Alex DeBrincat.
It's funny because what happened in Cole Caulfield? I mean, for crying out loud.
Caulfield. Yeah, exactly.
That I didn't get at all. Like, and but the reality is like it's kind of like political in a way, and it's a funny thing because like, and people who play in the U.S. program also realize this too. Sometimes it's like I always say, hockey players have their NHL career and then they have their international career, and they're different.
Yeah, it's a completely different game, especially
with game, and it's also treated different.
Yeah,
like what happens? Like, so if you have a chance to show up at the World Championships in the summer and you don't do it for USA or Canada, that puts you down the chart a little bit next time the Olympics come up. Like, you have to be a good player for your country. You have to show up when they ask you to show up.
Yeah,
and that's why you see some of these great players play in the World Championships, which are coming up soon, because that's like a tick towards them being maybe on the Olympic team.
Yeah,
and that's Caulfield didn't do enough of that, I think, and that's what it cost him. But that's
I think he'll be on the team next year.
He better be.
Yeah,
I
think Tage Thompson was absolute biggest snub. I mean, he's 45 goals this year.
Yeah, it's insane.
He's scoring every game. It's insane.
It is. It really is. And they kept some people like, I mean, nothing against, some of the guys they took, but, that are just older, that they've been around the U.S. program. They wanted experience and stuff like that. But we're really in this in-between period now because there's this new group of players that are definitely going to take over. Brock Nelsons are still there. Those guys are still there. And they're great players too, but they can't really play with these new players necessarily.
It's a way faster game.
So with Denver and Western Michigan, they played a lot of close games, like you said. They are familiar with each other for sure.
Yeah. Same conference.
Yeah.
I believe Western Michigan went 2-1 against them this year. So
that's impressive, right? Because Denver only lost 11 games.
Yeah, they're 31-11-1. So I mean,
two of those are for Western Michigan, which is pretty impressive. Now, my last question for you here, because we're going to get, and there are some other players obviously that we could talk about too, but I think Yzerman, like you said, is one of the ones that I just completely think. And the Predators are going to love Aiden Fink, like you said. But in your opinion, this is the big question for you, and I didn't tell you this ahead of time, so you're going to test you on this one.
Yeah.
5 years from now, you're starting a team on your own. Would you rather have the Hughes brothers or the Hudson brothers?
Okay, so for the Hughes brothers, like, is Jack included, or is it just Quinn?
Yeah, no, it's all three of them: Jack, Luke, and Quinn, and then Cole.
I think you're talking about the two defensemen. Okay, so
like all three of them, you're starting a team. Who do you want?
I feel like you have to go with the Hughes brothers. I mean,
I think so.
They really paved the way for American hockey players. I mean, I grew up watching them go to the league, and they've been unbelievable since. And the crazy thing about both of those families is like they're all tremendous skaters. I mean, all of them would be like the best skaters and like one of the best skaters in the NHL. So I'd probably have to go with the Hughes brothers just because Jack Hughes, like forward wise, like
he's a superstar.
He's a superstar. Quinn's been playing great with this.
Quinn's up for the Norris Trophy.
I went on this year with that team. And then Luke's been playing good too. He's a lot of assists this year.
And he's solid. Like, he's very solid and makes a lot of good plays.
He's the tallest one out of all of them too.
And it's the hardest thing. The defense is definitely. I mean, Quinn obviously has made this adjustment because he's just that talented. But it's the hardest thing for a young guy to come in and play defense in the NHL. That's like by far that takes a couple years.
Luke had a lot of pressure on him too. Just
tons of pressure.
But I think they deal with that well. And I mean, the Hudsons are also like. I have no words because they're so good. And
so Quinn Hudson, we don't know as much about. Like, he's a defenseman too or a forward?
Who's that? Quinn,
yeah.
Yeah, he's a forward.
He's a forward. Okay.
Yeah, so it's like similar. There's one forward and two defensemen.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, I figured it made sense.
Yeah.
I just think that it'll be funny in like maybe I don't know, a few Olympics down the line when all six of them are on the team.
That'd be really cool to see.
And the Devils want to get Quinn Hughes in the worst possible way.
I know. That'd be cool to see all three brothers on the same team.
Yeah, it would be really would be fun. Yeah. Well, this has been amazing, Luke. Thank you so much for doing this. And
thank you so much.
Absolutely, and we'll have you back. We'll have you back again. In a little bit of time here when we get to the next game, perhaps, and figure out what to do from there. But this is great, and everybody welcome Luke Ravitz, and thanks in the chat room. If you guys have any questions, we could throw there for a second actually as well. I know a lot of people are saying like a lot of people are upset about how their teams passed over Zach Boehm. You know,
I mean the Flyers passed up on him.
Yeah, the Flyers passed him.
He's
yeah. I mean, the Flyers passed Caulfield. I was never more angry.
Yeah, we got York instead of him.
I mean, I like York, but
I like York too. Caulfield is just that. It's similar to Yzerman. It's like you can't really pass up on them. They just do so much for your team, and like they're gonna produce, they're gonna produce for you. So
yeah, I mean, and it's I think if Briere was the GM at the time, Caulfield would have been picked because Briere doesn't have that same kind of like bias that Fletcher had in like smaller players.
Yeah.
You know, like Briere understands the smaller player can survive in this league. But Fletcher wanted to deal with the bigger guy, and granted, York was the captain of the U.S. World Juniors team. He was definitely.
I still love York. I think he's a very good defenseman. He's very smooth skating, very good on the power play, like we've seen in years. But right now, I mean, he had a tough year, like what went on with Torts, but like he'll be fine. I feel like, but I mean, Caulfield is just special.
He's just amazing. I mean, I watched them the other night in Montreal. Just like, gosh, but being able to watch Hudson and Caulfield every day, it's just like
it's gonna be really cool to see.
Yeah. I mean, it's incredible. Well, thanks again. Remember, without the buzz, guys, it's just hockey, and we will see you soon. Ending the stream now. Have fun.